All right, hello,
Speak of
gentlemen.
the devil.
Yes, we're on the air. How you gentlemen doing?
Good.
All right,
Yeah, I'm all right, thanks, man.
all right. Let me find the window. God damn it, which window is it? Okay, well, I'll figure it out here in a sec. But anyway, yeah, good to see you guys. Hear you guys. Harmful opinions, man. Thank you for stopping by.
No problem. Thanks for running a stream at an earlier time.
Yeah. We wanted to get you on a couple months back, but we weren't able to because of we usually do it at 11 p.m. and that's kind of like 5 a.m. your time. So
Yeah, 4 or 5.
Yeah, 4. That's right. Yeah, it's a little unwieldy. Anyway, how you been, man?
I'm all right, man. How are you?
Pretty good. So by the way, Mr. Metokur's here too. How are you doing, Jim?
I'm doing fantastic. Thanks for asking.
Okay, so Harmful, you recently came back to YouTube. Explain your decision behind that.
My decision behind that was I just felt like it. There's no big reason. I mean, people know originally when I was going on YouTube, I got up to nearly like 100k subs. Someone got into my shit, wrecked it. Then I started going again, got banned. Then I got banned again. So I'm really just crossing my fingers that I don't get banned yet again.
Now, how many times were you banned from YouTube? Somebody told me it was 9.
Twice.
Twice. Okay.
It was
maybe
twice.
They exaggerated.
I think they're saying that because when your main account gets banned, the other channels connected to it, and I had some other like archivey stuff connected to it.
Now,
they might have been banned those.
I remember didn't one time your channel get hacked and all the videos deleted off of it? It wasn't just they took your channel down. What exactly happened for the people who don't know?
I don't think there was a videos deleted one. There was one time where I hid my shit because of Twitch.
Okay.
There was one time where Twitch enacted their new policy, which is fucking awful, where you can get in trouble on Twitch, you can get banned, you can get restrictions on your account for what you say and do on other platforms. So for a while, I hid some stuff, but that wasn't one of the times stuff was.
Now Twitter is talking about doing that now too, off-platform behavior. Technically, it's always been in the terms of service, but they're talking about actually starting to enforce that now. Which, yeah, I mean, it's straight cancer.
Yeah, I tried to take the route of, okay, I'm going to make sure they can't get me on anything. But then you find nothing's fucking fun anymore if you do that. So fuck it. If I get banned, I get banned.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like when you go to school and they try to punish you for something you got in a fight off school grounds and they try to suspend you for that. I mean, at least that's what it reminds me of. And it's bullshit there too for all the students who may be listening. Okay, so tell me, around the time people started fucking with your account, trying to get you banned, was around the time you started going in on Candid. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think it was sort of, I had my time to do the last big video I did on it. And I was mostly doing other stuff. If something would come up, some new info I thought people should know, I'd do it. But yeah, it was right around after there.
So, what interests me, I guess, of course, I followed the Candid stuff when it happened. When I guess it was a couple
stories.
Yeah, I did. I guess it was a couple years ago now, but a lot of people are not actually familiar with it. So we were, so I saw some comments on a couple of our streams, and they're like, "What? I never really heard about Candid. What's going on?" I guess just a short explainer. We went through some of the shilling videos last week, which was
well. And Ralph, could you tell your audience when we were looking at those shilling videos, and Zidane I think brought it up on the stream where we were watching that. What category would you fit those particular accounts into? If you had to come up with a label for those particular individuals, what kind of a group would you say that was?
I mean, I think they labeled themselves, right, as the skeptic community.
Oh, okay. That's a brave stance to take. I didn't want to throw it out there, but Ralph is going to.
Yeah, I think these were all quote unquote skeptics. They weren't too skeptical when the check came through, though. They cashed that really quickly and started shilling immediately.
They were very careful and very precise and used their logic and rationality to cut out the bits their audience might not like about it, though.
Yeah. Matter of fact, I got a message the other day. One of the people we were watching in the stream, or in the whatever clip show of it, got paid $500. I'd assumed it was more. Now this was more of a mid-tier person, so I don't know how the
it depends on the size.
Yeah,
and it tends to scale up a lot because if you go on a website like FameBit and look at how sponsorships go for channels, it tends to be very, very low until you hit a huge point where you're talking like maybe 500k subs, maybe a million plus. Then you start getting into much larger numbers.
Yeah, like the Amazing Atheist, right? Like he probably got more, and he also got what, an iPhone to fucking give away.
Well, didn't he name the amount of money? I could have sworn he had stated somewhere that it was like between 10 to 20k.
Yeah, I thought so too. Like he was going on about 20k or something. That's what I heard.
And he was really obstinate. I guess. Okay, so first off, just explain Candid for the people who don't know. I'm assuming most people watching the stream do know, but maybe just a little short explainer.
But what it was, well, there was this app some of you might have known about called Secret, which was just like an anonymous messaging app. And they had some trouble with like abusive content. They got bad press. I think they even shut down. And then the idea of Candid, if you look through old news stories when it came out, was to be like that app, but to be safe. Their official ad says it's the place where no trolls or bullies are allowed. And the twist on the format of the app they copied was to have an AI, the kind of thing that everyone fucking hates on Twitter and YouTube that automatically filters through everything. That about do it, or you want more
yeah,
detail?
Just go give us a little bit more. Yeah. So what got you interested in investigating in the first place? Was it just the blatant shillery from channel after channel, or
it was the number of ads? It was the number of ads. I remember the night I decided, right, I'm going to do a video on this because I'd seen a bunch of ads. I'd seen that lots of normie YouTubers were doing it. They did hit. They spread their marketing net quite wide. You had the super normie YouTubers with multi-million subs doing it. But then I noticed so many skeptics were doing these ads. And then I think the night I looked into it was the night Shoeonhead put her ad up. And I was like, wow, what is this fucking thing? 5 seconds search. And I'm like, wait, all the information you can find about it is about how their bot's going to be great and how it's going to make it a lovely, safe place for everyone. And my mind was fucking blown because I know the audience of these people would hate that. And I noticed that in the ads people were putting out, they weren't talking about it. It's like they decided to advertise it as something it wasn't, or at least dodge the main point of this app in a way that would make people want to use it because they didn't know about the bot.
Let me ask you this: do you think these people actually knew what it was, or were they just completely stupid? I mean, I don't know that stupidity is not really a great defense, but are they?
Well, Ralph, I mean, we know that Matt did because I had a conversation with him on his channel at like 3 a.m, and we had to, cover it up because he was still worried about the contract and he didn't want to say Candid, so we called it discreet.com. But when I basically brought up a lot of what Harmful kind of uncovered and what was kind of known, he said that not only was he aware of it, that was their mission statement, was to develop this bot. He said that's what their goal was, so he obviously knew what they were doing, and I guess the others did too.
Something beyond that is I got access to a couple of their contracts and also the instructions they give you for making a video. And they actually ask you to talk about the bot because they wanted people to know about it. They wanted it to be a selling point. So people actually went out of their way to not mention the bot, presumably because they knew their audience wouldn't like it.
Yeah. So another part of it is they kind of tried to paint you as insane. And a lot of their defenses of it. Monday Matt put out a video saying, "Wow, pretty much." I forget what the title of it was, but
yeah, how many hit piece videos did you have? I think weren't there like 3 of them?
I think not only one named me. So Mundane Matt named me, right? But then you had Ahmed Skeptic's one, which was Censored Opinions. Was the title. So it was sort of a reference to me, but he avoided naming me. And then you had the Some Black Guy one, where he just refers to Alex Jones type people coming out of the woodwork to warn you about the bot. And I actually talked to Some Black Guy around that time, and he was saying, well, I'm going to advertise it because I know about all this stuff, but it hasn't happened to me yet, so fuck it. I'm going to get all my followers to go onto it.
Yeah. Also, you did a stream with Sargon of Akkad, and I remember watching part of it. And he pretty much tried to paint you as a little out there too. Or am I misreading it?
Yeah, definitely. That was a weird one because he asked me to come stream, and then we go into the stream, and he was like, "Okay, so what do you want to talk about?" He's like, "Dude, you invited me." But then it sort of went down a weird. It was kind of a weird stream.
It seemed to me, this is a layman's
he also
read,
he had also talked to me privately, trying to tell me not to This is a couple of years ago, obviously.
Yes.
But he had a private talk with me on Skype, trying to tell me to stop going into the candid stuff.
Why?
Because otherwise he's going to wake up with a horse head in his bed.
Also, on that stream, didn't he say you're autistic a lot? That's what I keep.
Yeah. That was around the time it was weird because my sister's autistic. I am actually autistic, high functioning, obviously. Although people who watch my streams might argue otherwise. My sister's autistic as well, and my mom posted on Twitter some like stuff about autism. And the day he invited me to come on stream, he posted something that had like a screen cap of my mom and then something else on top of it. And it was really weird that he'd picked that out because he didn't follow her or anything. So that fucking weirded me out as well.
Yeah, and I guess, you know, as far as we know, he didn't actually take any money from Candid.
I don't believe he did. No.
But so why would he do that? Just running interference, running you know,
get anything that causes upset amongst the community to just calm down.
It's almost like this whole community thing, this whole, you know, all that shit is cancer.
Pretty much, yeah. Unless you can properly clash. And that was my big thing, where it's like, holy fuck, don't call me a skeptic, because then I get to post this juicy stuff, and instead of looking at it, people are like, oh no, mommy and daddy are fighting, stop doing it. It's like, I'm fucking doing it for you guys, the viewers who should know stuff. I wanted to get away from that.
Especially early on, you were pretty much the only person calling this out.
Pretty much the only person not getting paid.
Yeah.
She tried to get me to do a video. I didn't fucking like that. Like, her first response was, oh, how about like you call me and we can arrange for you to do a video where you describe the app how we want you to describe it.
This has been Rowdy, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I should have said the CEO of the company. Some dude making videos in his bedroom. She calls him and is like, oh, how about we clear things up? How about you
wait, how did she get your phone number?
She didn't call me. She wanted to call me.
Oh,
she
okay.
asked, yeah.
Creepy as shit.
That would add another fucking layer to it. But no, she emailed me and was saying she wanted to arrange for me to make a video.
Oh, a shekel for the good guy. Yeah, just say nice things about the app. It's just an app. Haven't you watched Some Black Guy? Come on, just take the money.
I mean, it's just an app with millions in funding from people connected to Facebook and the like.
Didn't do Reddit.
A company made up mostly of ex-Google engineers, a CEO who used to work for Google, a CTO who has some weird DARPA connections in the past. Yeah, not touching it.
Didn't Rowdy even try to talk to your mom?
On Twitter. On Twitter, yeah. She was saying, she was tweeting at my mom something about how she'd had people giving her anonymous tips about my mother's account, which was just really weird.
What the hell does that mean?
It's impressive on one hand. I mean, you shit posted this bitch so hard she had to tattle to your mother on social media about it.
I mean, she went insane on social media. I got her to justify the Holocaust. I wanted to see if I could, because she was okay. So there's this creepy sort of ethic behind the idea of this app, and it is, if you can get a bot to learn based on people's reports and stuff, right? If you can figure out from the people using it what's acceptable, what's not acceptable, then you have a bot that can enforce like morality. And she was arguing with me on Twitter, and this is all gone now because my account got banned. You'd have to search through her tweets that are remaining. The idea was, what's moral is based on what people find acceptable. And she was talking about how, well, is it okay to go naked in the street? It's not okay to go naked in the street because people don't accept it. And I said to her, like, was the Holocaust okay because, you know, people were going through with it, people were exterminating people, does that make it okay because they were okay with it? And she ended up writing something back that included, yeah.
What the fuck? You should have used that in one of the videos and been like,
I did.
Oh, did you really? Oh,
I don't remember which one, but I put it in there. And she went on a call with Bearing. She went on a stream with Bearing, and she comes off as being like on something. I don't think she is. I think she's just dumb, but it's like she was drunk.
That's the one where she goes, harmful opinions is God like 15 times. I'm like, what the fuck? She just malfunctioned.
And now she's at Amazon Web Services.
Yeah, she's like in charge or like the general manager of their AI department apparently.
Actually, Harmful, do you know what the effective date of her getting on board with Amazon was? Do you know how long ago that was?
Ooh, it was. I think it was early last year.
So right around, this is before the new policies on Twitch went into place.
I believe so.
Yeah.
I don't think she had anything to do with that.
Well, it is coincidental timing, though, isn't it? Somebody that's coming up with basically a censorship bot gets a job at Amazon. Amazon owns Twitch, and after she gets the job, now mysteriously Twitch is headhunting people on Twitter for saying "faggot" so they can ban them.
I think it's worse than that because of the far reach of the service she works with has.
Yeah, according to her LinkedIn page, she joined Amazon Web Services July 2017. She's been there for like a year and a couple months.
Yeah, so this would be okay. All right, interesting.
Man, I got nailed for the new Twitch terms of service. This is just an aside. This isn't connected to all that. But I got fucking nailed not because of what I did, but because of what my chat was saying.
What did they say?
I talked to some weeaboos. I was doing an IRL stream, so I was out and about. I had a camera, and I was talking to some weeaboos who were in Sheffield.
I saw that actually,
dressed up like anime. And my chat said "gas the weebs," and I got a day's ban for my chat saying "gas the weebs."
Well, the way Twitch looks at it is you should censor your chat. I think if you don't actually,
the guy said I didn't do anything to discourage my chat's behavior, and I continued to provide content that made them respond like that.
Yeah, exactly. If you're not proactive there, so at least I haven't seen it from YouTube where you'll get a strike for what the chat says. So I just let the chat say whatever, pretty much. But yeah. Oh, on another note, totally off topic, they did reverse the strike on our backup channel where we uploaded the Monday match stream, and they gave me a strike for spam and deceptive practices. So they reversed.
Wait,
that.
so they reversed it and gave you another one, or it's completely?
No, they took it away. They took it away. So
Okay.
the stream's back up and all that. All right, couple super chats. Gray-haired Snake says Harmful Opinions is God. Soilless Matt says Harmful, you just need a good bouldering. 14 Owooz says Harmful is 2% them. Malcolm from the North says taking bets now. Who's the next skeptic that's gonna step into the peaceful sunset? I'll replace that metaphorically, of course. Don't flag me, Matt. Any thoughts on that panel?
Oh yeah, I have thoughts on it, but I'm not sharing them.
All right, well, nice tease there. Fuck you, Google says Harmful Opinions is God times 4. Quote Bendu. Vegetator says an AI bot is the ultimate centrist. Horseshoe on head did nothing wrong. I guess what got me was how staunch. I mean, I know they were paid to defend it, but everything you put out was just, dead to rights. It was clearly,
Wait, Ralph, are you saying you got the feeling that there was a community behind the shilling, that maybe that they were grouping together and creating a unified narrative to go after the one guy saying that they were, full of shit and doing something wrong?
Well, yeah, they tried to paint this guy as crazy. Oh,
hey,
he's
listen,
Alex Jones.
You need to watch some Black Eye, okay, Alex? Because he explained it's just an app.
I mean, even if they don't sell any of their proprietary technology, even if they don't sell the data, these people are pretty close knit. Everyone in that sort of AI development community, they'll discuss their methods of doing it, and Candid had an interesting method where they sort of got users to police each other and to help train the bot. So if you don't want that shit spreading, don't push shit that uses it, is what I was trying to say. But then you get people going, oh, you can't sell the AI exactly as it is, so it doesn't matter. But no,
see, these
so much
people,
more than that.
They don't really care about censorship of the internet and this and that, because they're not really saying anything that controversial in the first place. I mean, with their videos, their shows, it's like, oh, LOL, SJW. I mean, it's not, why do they care? They're not going to take that content away in the first place. You see all that shit's still up. It's still, for the most part, monetized. They're not really worried about censorship of the internet. They don't have to deal with strikes. They don't have to deal with, I mean, look, we're on our 3rd channel in the last week. They don't have to worry about that. I mean, they're I don't know if I want to say controlled opposition, but yeah, go ahead, Jim.
Which they are you talking about again?
the skeptics.
Okay, I just wanted to be clear on that.
I'll fucking say I don't like them, so I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck.
When you're saying, but
Jim, I was calling these people out before it was a thing.
But what I'm saying is, I can't be the only one to find it ironic, right? I think everybody in this call would find it a bit humorous that they helped to basically create a fucking censorship bot, and then a year later cried about the adpocalypse.
Yeah, I would say that's ironic.
You want to know another sweet irony?
I would.
You know, when people were complaining about how keywords were weighted differently in terms of ads, like if your video had certain keywords, you'd get more ad payout or less.
Right.
Do you know who originally implemented that system?
Who's that?
Bendy Ready.
Are you serious?
I can get you a link if you want, but if you find her, like, he did some.
So wait, they were literally working for the person that fucked them out of ad revenue. That is brilliant.
When she implemented the keyword weighting was in like early 2000s, but she's the person who implemented the original form of keyword value weighting.
Oh, see, that's beautiful. I love that.
No, remember when they showed up to VidCon this year with the yellow whatever, the demonetized symbol, and they thought that was a great statement, and they're fighting the man when they were working for the man the whole time. I just.
What's another term for that? When you're working for the person you say you're fighting against? Was that controlled opposition? Is that the term I'm looking for?
I think it might be.
Might be. Maybe that's what I'm grasping for here.
Yeah. So you did a video the other day on Candid as well. We watched it on the kill stream. What caused you to go back in on Candid?
Jim's video. He brought it up fresh. A lot of people were interested, so I go, okay, have another little snack. Here's the general idea of what went on, and then here's what I know about where they've gone.
Oh, come on. I think we know the real reason. All right. Everybody says Harmful Opinions is God, and here comes Matt claiming to be Odin, and it was a fucking clash in the title.
Yeah.
On the internet.
What did you think?
There can be only one.
As a little aside here about Matt, eating shit there, and he's still eating shit as we speak.
That was a beautiful moment. That's a classic internet moment.
I think it is like the quintessential, even though I was drunk out of my mind and don't even remember much of it, I think it was the quintessential kill stream moment there. But just especially how, I guess from a personal standpoint, how he tried to say this guy's, Alex Jones, he's conspirator, he's crazy. What? We're just we're just taking some ad money, Goy. Like, no problem. They paid us to pimp this ad. Nothing wrong with this ad. Just from a personal standpoint, seeing him just get bitch slapped, what was that like?
Oh, it's hilarious. it just feels pretty good. I mean, I wasn't too bothered by his video, especially how could I be upset at someone trying to say I'm crazy when their video was received the way it was? I mean, if you go and look at that clip he made, the sort of ratings on it and the comments underneath, but still, it feels better more because of the social media back and forth we've had.
Yeah, I noticed he's not using Twitter very much nowadays.
Yeah, actually, didn't the CEO tell him to not talk to you on Twitter anymore? And he
was
responding to pretty much everything.
I'll explain what's up with that. We can't be 100% sure what happened because it's not all there. But I ran a little experiment because of the video he made and because of how he was behaving with me. I decided to just deliberately just provoke him as hard as I could on social media, and then, because I was having a dialogue with Candid CEO at the time, say to her, hey, why is one of the people you're paying being so nasty to me? Why is he going after me so much just because I criticized your product? And then what happened after I emailed her that? She tweeted at him and said something like, DM me, please. And then he suddenly started ignoring me. So who knows what went on behind
What a coincidence. I wonder what's going on behind that.
I wanted to see if I had the power to leash him via Candid.
And you did. You made him sit like a good boy.
I think so. I think I can't prove 100% that's what happened, but hey, I got the result I was looking for if that did happen.
You basically threw him into the cuck corner.
Oh, he's used to that position. By the way, I just put the Discord link in the chat there. We're gonna take some calls here momentarily. Let me be a good shekel master and read the super chats, which I greatly appreciate. By the way, Troy Fowler says I spent $150 last night, so I might as well spend a bit more here. Fuck you, egg. Thermidor Roosevelt says Maddox also shield for Candid. I wasn't aware of that, but that doesn't really.
That is fucking perfect.
He talked to because Blair White did as well. She was on his podcast or something, and they spent a couple minutes just talking about how it's so silly. Look, Twitter does it. Twitter has censorship too. Why do people care? It's like, would you do an ad for Twitter?
Why is it every name you bring up is not surprising? Anybody else taken aback by that?
No, not at all.
Right?
Not
Isn't that a little? It's not surprising at all. You throw a name out there, they advertise for him. I'd be like, yeah, I can picture that.
Matt also defended Maddox, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Yes, he did.
Hardcore defended him.
Yeah. So did there were other people that went on that. Oh, Lacey Green, I think, did too.
She went on his show. I think she defended him as well. Yeah.
Huh.
Internet friends until the end.
What if those contracts weren't to Candid? What if Ben Duretti owns these fuckers for 3 years and they're in a little
personal contract, personal services contract,
indentured servants? Yeah,
because those contracts aren't up yet, right? Because from the snippet that we saw, it was till they can't talk about it plus 2 years afterwards, or till the life of the contract plus 2 years. So if their contracts ended in like 2017-ish, then they're still under NDAs till 2019. Some of them.
Yeah.
Oh, as long as we're picking out random bits and pieces that we can remember. There's the time where after there was some backlash and I made my video, there was some backlash to Shoe on Head for doing an ad. She put up a little video called "Can Do Nothing," and
we watched that. We watched that the other night.
Claimed in it was a one-time thing, not on contract anymore, implying that she didn't have a gag when she did, and then went on to do another ad because she was still on contract, and that wasn't true.
Now, was that the one where she said, I think this was her. I don't know. We watched so many shows the other night. It's hard to remember, but I believe it was her where she said, I had already seen this cool app and I was going to talk about it anyway. Was that her or was that somebody? Yeah, that was her.
Probably.
She's like, I'd already seen this cool app. I was going to talk about it anyway, but then, they offered me a sponsorship. So, like it was just, out of the blue, kind of.
Do you think there was some jealousy behind the scenes? Because with the leaked audio from Matt's Discord when he was talking about Shoe on Head, aside from saying that Greg cried when he saw a vagina, he went into her Candid community and was like, it's the most annoying, shitty fucking part of the entire website. Do you think that was more bitterness because she's probably at a much higher fucking pay rate than Monday Matt?
I would imagine there's some of that
and
there.
Probably on top of that, we know that some of the people were getting paid per person who signed up to their fan group.
Oh, fuck, really?
Wait,
so
what?
that might add an extra level of jealousy. You get sometimes with sponsorships, like if you go on a site like FameBit and look at the sponsorships available, and there are tons. I don't know why people had to go for this shitty fucking app. There's so many sponsorships available all the time. But sometimes you'll get a sponsorship where it's like, you get this much for the video, assuming it hits its view requirement or whatever, if there is one. Plus, sometimes it will be like, how people are always like, please join this group, please join this group. Sometimes that's a requirement with no bonus, but sometimes there's also a bonus where for every person you can get to sign up to a group, you get paid $1 extra.
Is that why they all were shilling their fucking groups? Like some black guy said, be sure to join my Candid group. And
some people did not get that bonus and just had to do it anyway. But some people, I'm aware, were given a bonus for how many people they could get to sign up.
Can I ask you a follow-up too? I've always been kind of curious about this because I know Bering, redeemed himself and all of this and didn't go along with the flock on it. Did anybody else that was involved in this step up and say, you know what, this is wrong, or I'm sorry, or you're right, or you're on the right track, or was it just him?
No one who actually did anything with them. No. They might be too scared of violating their contract. Like, I don't give a shit if people apologize to me or whatever. They don't need to apologize to me. But like, I just want things to be good for viewers. I don't like people's viewers getting fucked because it makes me sick to see. It makes me upset to see people getting fucked when they don't know what's up. But no one did. The only other person who was involved with them slightly, who did help me, was Edgy Sphinx, who's now called
Braving Ruin, right?
Braving Ruin. And what he did was he just got them to send them a contract and then handed it to me. What else? Teal Deer helped me, but I don't know if I can say what Teal Deer did, but Teal Deer did something very helpful.
Well, I know he's been really outspoken about not just like the Canada stuff, but he's not a big fan of the Skeptics as a group as well. I've seen a lot of his videos regarding that.
Yeah. By the way, Teal Deer, if you're listening, we really want you on the kill stream. I'll put that out there. He's not the easiest man to get a hold of, but yeah.
Let me put it this way, in a non-incriminating or non-problem causing way. He got me an amazing piece of audio that perhaps I should not have had access to.
Oh, see, now you're cock teasing us. Now we're getting blue balled here.
He shared with me a certain conversation with a certain someone who seemed very scared of me.
Was it the Quarry King talking about his boulder hunting? And then he's ducking and covering?
No. It was someone it was a business person. Let's put it that way.
Okay, well that rules out every skeptic. So.
It was not a YouTuber.
So let me query you with this. So what got Baring to cooperate? By the way, I don't, I've talked to Baring a couple times. He's been on this show or on my channel like years ago. I have no problems with him, but what got him to cooperate and kind of be your guy, our guy on the inside there?
It was just him seeing what it was, because I assume he didn't look through the materials they gave him properly or something.
Yeah, because
the marketer he was talking to painted it as like a great free speech thing, but he watched my video and then just he DM'd me and was like, "Bro, I've seen your video. This is some Big Brother Orwellian shit. What can I do to help you?" When he realized something was fucked, he came to me and tried to help me.
Yeah, and see, that's the thing that always got me is if he could have done that, if he did that, the others could have. You know what I mean? Like that cover of, "Oh, I've got a contract. Oh, I'm scared of the repercussions." No, I don't believe that.
I mean, Baring even went ahead and for his stream he did with the CEO, he got her to suspend the non-disparagement clause for the duration of the stream. And because these, I guess the tech side of this company were clever, but the faces, the CEO, is really, really dumb. And here's an example. They'll get you to do whatever you want. Undoomed did an ad, but what he did was he said, "Hey, can you just take these parts out of the contract that say I'm gagged?" And they did. All these people who signed this gag could have just said, "Hey, can you take this out?"
Well, a lot of these people aren't very strong negotiators, or they didn't care to negotiate, I think would be the main part of it. They just like, "Oh, does the check clear?" Okay,
did they clap like seals when they threw $500 at them like a fucking fish in a bucket?
Well, I guess as soon as the check came, they were like, "Oh, what do you want me to say?" "Oh, okay, fine.
Yeah,
I'll read this out."
Pretty much say whatever as long as the check cash. All right, let me read these super chats. We'll take some calls. Stavros G gave a super chat, didn't say anything. Thank you, Stavros. Jipawop 47 says, "Favorite kind of pie? Does cheddar go on apple?" I don't like cheese on apple. I've never even had that. My favorite kind of pie would probably be pumpkin pie for me personally. I don't know if the panel wants to answer, but
I find pie disgusting. No, I have no answer to this.
Cheese and apples eaten in the same sitting, not at the same time, but like if you have some apple, you have some cheese. Okay, together at the same time, not sure.
Jim, all pie is disgusting.
All pie is fucking filth. Eat a cake like a man.
Oh, cake. Yeah,
dude. What about steak and kidney pie?
But see, that's not a pie now, is it?
Fuck off. Yes.
What about?
That's not. That doesn't fit into my definition of a.
What about poontang pie?
Oh God, it depends on how it's prepared, now, doesn't it?
All right.
How fresh are the ingredients? You know what I mean?
All right. The whiteboard says men are more ready to repay an injury than a benefit because gratitude is a burden and revenge is a pleasure. Tacitus Germania. Samay says, never forget Candid stop being gat. Afrogoon didn't say anything but gave a super chat. Thank you. Blue Satoshi says, so let me get this straight. The skeptics caused the adpocalypse by bringing about the tools for their own demise. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I mean, that's. I think that's a fair take on things.
The form of your destructor.
Skin Dog says, Matt has another channel called Mordred Deschain.
Yeah, is anybody else
what?
surprised by the amount of fucking channels he has? I keep stumbling on more. He's got like 20 of them.
How many can you have? Like, you know what? The other night, look, Harmful, I don't know if you saw the other night, we went through his Odin phase or whatever on the stream.
Irrational hatred?
Yeah, we went through all that, but we didn't even play it all. Like, that was only the tip of the iceberg. Like, there was so much more. We could have went through.
A good meme clip that I cannot find anymore. He had this channel. It might have even been Matt Jarbo, and for some reason, I was searching around and couldn't find it. He has a clip of, I think it was an audition for some sort of zombie film or something. And
is that where he has his face painted white or whatever?
No, it's him like pretending to record a last message or something.
Oh, I haven't seen
and
that.
It's got the most memeable clip of him putting his fingers to his head and going,
"Oh yeah,
just shoot me! I just need to fucking end it," or something.
That's up on the Matt Jarbo account. That's he entered a film contest for Romero. That's the one where he gives out the fake social and then starts threatening to shoot himself.
He has quite a few channels. All right, Afrogun then says, made a mistake, LOL, but are you guys watching Angry Joe's Meltdown? Do you think this will continue and essentially end him, or is this just another step? I will say that I'm not like 100% filled in on everything. I've seen part of videos here and there and seen him, on Twitter. As far as this, will it end him? No. I mean, he has around 3 million subs. I don't think.
Hell no. And his main attraction is the big review productions he does that everyone will come for.
It's not going to end him. I don't think it's a good look, but as far as ending him, no. I mean, it's not a Matt situation. So he's lost about 5,000 subs in 2 or 3 days, but he has 3 million, and it's not really his main thing anyway. He can just like Harmful said, he can go back to some of the other, classics or whatever. Monday Matt has lost, what is it, Jim? I think it's like 11,000.
11. He's lost 7% of his audience. Yeah, 11,000.
And those are without a doubt the most highly engaged parts of his audience.
I mean, even with the hate watching, on average, he's averaging, if you cut out the day after the stream where everybody was spamming him, he's averaging lower views, even with people showing up to dislike and shit talk him in the comments, which is the majority of people.
The comments, by the way, I would suggest anybody who wants a laugh to just go through and read Monday Matt comments, because they're just all brutal. And I see a lot of Matt knows in there. All right, let's see. Okay. Colin Stevens says Blair is a guy's name too. I don't know what you're talking about, sir. Sponge says shekels for sausages. That was from Friday. Pragmatic Culture says a tranny and a simp shill for a company secretly teaching bots to censor hate speech. Imagine shock. My French will get there eventually. Terrible Coughing says Jarbo means Jews and rabbis, big ovens. Oh, wow. I can't. I disavow. Clarice Green says Braving Ruin has been doxxed off the internet by Kraut and Sherrod. Please look into this. I'm in contact with Braving Ruin. I talk to him sometimes. Queen of the Ruckus says Zidane sounds like I want to sit on his face. What the fuck?
What?
What?
What the hell?
All right, that was a little out of left field, I have to say. All right, Gator, are you prepared to take calls?
Yes, we are ready. Everything is go.
So what do I need to do? Do I need to deafen or just I just mute, right?
Well, you don't have to actually go in the Discord. You can just start dragging people over. They should be able to hear you.
Oh, without just okay, because it's gonna go through yours, right?
I'm just picturing you grabbing Q-tips. Like, what do you mean deafen? Stabbing yourself in the fucking ears?
Look, we try to have some audience participation here. Plus, it helps me because I don't have to do as much. All right, Graham, you're on the air live on the Kill stream.
Hey, I want to say something a bit different. Isn't it amazing that one of the head champions of Me Too would sexually assault a 17-year-old man when she met him when she was 7, and it was a mother figure toward her.
No,
Isn't that
17-year-old,
amazing?
a 17-year-old boy. Let's be legal about
Boy,
this.
okay,
She
fine.
molested a little boy. The same little boy she made dress up as a girl in the movie because she wanted a little sister. The same boy in that same movie that dressed up as like Marilyn Monroe and then got fucked by her boyfriend Marilyn Manson on the couch.
I did not see that movie. That sounds fucking insane.
Yeah, and he got butt
Wow.
fucked 3 times in that movie. Good good production there, Miss Me Too.
Oh, that's wholesome. That's a wholesome
during that
movie
movie.
right there.
Hey,
Holy
calm down. It just
shit.
means she's a method actor.
Yes, she is.
But it's incredible. That story is incredible because she was like, wasn't she like one, if not the
Now,
head?
why don't you
one of the
tell the chat
forefront
her
people.
name?
Oh, Asia Argento. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I already knew, but just
Yeah, I mean that movie, the scene was so suggestive that they couldn't film it with him doing the actual sex act, so they had the guy hallucinate that it was the mother dressed like that, and then it switched back to the boy scrubbing blood out of his underwear after getting fucked. It was a messed up movie.
What the fuck? I haven't. I don't know the details in the movie, but we talked a little bit beforehand, just very shortly, like a couple minutes, and there's so much stuff out about Asia Argento at this point. Just look at her Instagram. Literally, if I was to pull up her Instagram right now, some of the photos that she posts on there, they would take the stream down. Like, we would get struck down during the middle of the stream. That's how fucking just completely. I don't even know if degenerate is the right word. It's just.
Well, if it was, do you think it's just one, or do you think there are more? I mean, there has to be more, right? If she's paying off one little boy, there's probably more little boys. Yeah.
Yeah, how many movies has she done with little kids?
Yeah, that's a good
That's
question.
I don't know.
I mean,
It's
I
so
had
weird
never heard
because-
this bitch before Harvey Weinstein. I'm not gonna lie. It's not like she was some, great auteur that I needed to, know about. She's just some Italian bitch.
I heard of
with
her
big
because
titties.
she was in Land of the Dead, the Romero one.
Wait,
But-
wait. A minute ago, were you guys basically saying molesting little kids is a bit like Pringles? Once you pop, you just can't
Lay's.
stop.
Oh
There's
yeah.
got to be more than one. They're so Moorish.
But she was so open about it. If you look at her tweets, what was the one? Hold on, I'm gonna have to scroll down through my Twitter because Cernovich had quote tweeted it, and it was something about she's talking about 9-year-olds. Just look at her. I literally cannot pull this up on air. Her Instagram is so out there.
She's edgy, is she? She's skirting the line with her content, is she?
She's edgy, all right. I'm afraid. Look,
Are we talking James Gunn edgy, or are we talking
Nah.
child porn edgy? Which edgy are we going with?
I
on
would
this?
say,
The
well,
leader half.
given her payout, so James Gunn, I thought there's a lot of smoke there. I can't say that there's for sure fire, but she's on, record, with a payout to this person. So
Yeah, 380 grand. I mean,
yeah,
that's not small. Yeah.
yeah, I think that rises to a new level once you're paying out victims and stuff like that. That's a little bit different. Here goes
And
a tweet.
I think Metokur has a point because she paid him $380,000 to stay quiet. It's not like he might be the only one too, because this is sort of like a big thing, and who knows if she paid other people to stay quiet and they did stay quiet. I don't know how this got out, but
Is she by chance friends with Dan Schneider? Because I could see maybe where this is going.
And the other thing too is that she met him when she was 7. He was 7 years old. It wasn't like he was 17 and she met her right there. It was like they had this mother-son like relationship.
Yeah, so
And that's
here goes
was
the
so
tweet.
creepy
Hold
to
on,
him.
excuse me, sir. No, apologies. Sucks I left LA. I would have followed you everywhere. I wish I hadn't missed any of your birthdays all these years. And then there's another one. Let me pull this one up. It's just.
Yeah, she's probably upset she missed his birthdays because once he gets older, she has no attraction to him. Sick fuck.
Here's
All
another
right.
one. Waiting for my long lost son, my love, Jimmy Bennett, and trepidation. And here goes. I'm almost afraid to pull up the Instagram post. Okay, it's not as bad as the others. and she's just openly lusting over this kid.
Yeah, even people in your chat are bringing up Bourdain, but I'd like to say two things. I don't think he knew, but how weird would it have been for him if he came home and she's fucking some Club Disney kid on her bed?
You know, that's a big theory out there now, though, that he knew and that he killed himself because of that. I don't really think so either. I mean, Bourdain had a lot of look. If you know Bourdain, I'm not saying I know him personally, but if you follow his career, he talked about suicide and stuff before. So I'm not willing to say, you know, he knew about all this and that's why he killed himself. I tend to think if you follow the Daily Mail, and we talked about on this show before, she was whoring around with some fucking Italian journalist. I don't know if he's Italian or French, some Euro fucker, whatever. Beforehand, and that was all over the Daily Mail. Like 3 or 4 days before he killed himself, and she's out, you know, French kissing him and you know, snuggling up to him, and the Daily Mail ran it as what, you know. So all the captions on the photos are like, oh, you know, she met Anthony Bourdain and so and they're a couple, and the whole time on all the photos it's her snuggling up to another man, and they don't outright say she's cheating, but they're just clearly leading you to believe that. I tend to think that might have had more to do with it.
So wait, Ralph, is your chat right when they're saying he was cucked to death?
Yeah, I do think that's what happened. Yeah, because we talked about on this stream before. It was a couple months ago now. I don't know, what, 6 weeks ago, whatever, whenever he offed himself. But that Daily Mail article is one of the most brutal things I've ever read in tabloid media, because they go through and they show her with this journalist, and then under each like caption, they have like a timeline of her and Bourdain, and like, she met Anthony Bourdain and so, and he helped her produce this show and this show, and they never outright say she's fucking this guy, but that's clearly what they're going for. It's just brutal. It's a masterpiece of tabloid journalism. Now, of course, he killed himself, you know, 5 days later, so that's not good. But as far as tabloid journalism, that was you can't top that. It was just unbelievable. I'm still in awe. I'm just sitting here thinking about it now, and I'm still in awe. It's unreal. Now, of course, you know, if they'd had this stuff too, I mean, just go look at her Instagram. Go check some of the stuff I've retweeted, and it's all over Twitter. This chick is a complete degenerate, and I'm not saying, you know, Harvey Weinstein. I mean, he obviously has.
Oh, did you see? Okay, maybe you know who this is, Ralph. Do you know that little Asian doctor that's always whining at Trump? Do you know who I'm talking about?
Eugene Gu. Yeah, I know exactly.
Did you see his response to Argento?
No.
People were talking about it, saying, "Oh, this is terrible," and he inserts himself and says, "Okay, guys, actually, we need to be serious. Men can get raped. I know, I was." And
What?
he admits that he was raped by a woman in the fucking thread.
By the way, yeah, we did a whole stream on that guy. Well, not a whole stream, but like a first half of a stream. And basically this woman's what did she say, Zidane? Pretty much that he had abused her or something.
Oh yeah, he beat her.
Yeah. Well, he beat his ex-wife, according to her. But also that this chick he met up with, she said he was abusive too. And his defense was, it was kind of Trumpian. It's like, this fat bitch, I didn't even want to fuck her in the first place. That was pretty much his defense against the whole, you know, episode. I don't know.
Yeah, he got like
maybe the beating first was to tenderize.
So it was this chick he met online, right? That's the story you're trying to tell. And like he was hanging out with her.
Yeah.
And he didn't want to have sex there, so he was just like hid in the hospital for a couple days until she left.
Dude's a character.
Well, maybe he was traumatized from that past rape experience.
All right, we have a. Okay, I'm trying to read through these. Okay, I missed. We just did the Zidane. I want to sit on his face. Super chat. White says Jim eats. I thought he just smoked cigarettes. Sean Cuckery says cheesecake is best pod. Blue Satoshi says, what was his name again? $7 Sanchez. The Bones On says found a secret Jim channel. The Impartial Truth. I like creativity for a good username. Says Jim's lying. He ate a pile on stream long ago. Nope.
I ate a what?
A pile. Oh, excuse me, a pie. A pie.
Yeah, it's a two.
Those are different things. Yes.
Maybe I did. You know, if there's nothing else to eat around, you get hungry enough, you'll eat some surprising things.
You have to snack on something. Nope says I'm behind a bit. Never forget. Blair has a penis. Your buddy Brady says, how do you feel about Me Too imploding on itself? I personally think it's hilarious. I
just like Me Too because I liked watching Hollywood freak out. That's all I gave a shit about, is watching them implode on themselves, and it's still happening. No matter how this plays out, it's going to be entertaining.
By the way, here's the Eugene Good tweet. Let me pull that up real quick and read it. Oh wow, I'm blocked by him. What a cuck! I forgot that I'm blocked by him. Anyway, he said women commit sexual assault and sexual harassment too, but it just gets swept under the rug and totally ignored. That's not fair and that's not justice. I know because it happened to me. That was
Well, he's such a typical fucking I hate to go back to the well on the term, but he really is. It just, I'm the victim. Pay attention to me. Oh, woe is me. Look at me. Me. Fucking attention whoring.
What do you think about the term SAW? Because you know it's known, it's penetrated, you know, the normie consciousness, and so everybody knows what you mean when you say that. But on the other hand, it almost feels a little like, I hate to even use that term now because of the way it's used by some people. What do you think about that, Jim?
I mean, it's apt. I mean, it describes a good segment of people out there. I find myself sticking to snowflake more because that annoys them as much.
I think it depends what audience you're talking to.
Yeah, that's true.
Goy George says, Ralph, Pinky Culture uploaded yours to X videos. What the fuck? Yeah, actually, since they got my pinky because he kept bugging me. That's really strange. The Australian Patriarchy says, I like this time slot. Well, thank you. It's a very special episode of the Kill Stream. That reminds me of the 1990s sitcoms. A very special episode of the Kill Stream. You need to see it. Bob Dobbs says, get Bearing on. He should comment. I'm not against getting him on. If he's around, I'd bring him on. Vegetator says, everybody who unsubbed from Matt is a lost regular viewer. Nobody would volunteer to stay subbed to that much. Excuse me, to stay subbed that much to spam every day. All right, let's take another caller. Josh, the owner of Kiwi Farms, you're on the air live on the Kill Stream.
Hello. I mentioned this before to you on Twitter.
Yes, you did.
I have a take on the mundane Matt reveal, and I've been sitting on my hands with this for a while, but I'm curious to hear about what other people would think about this thought. Because when he was exposed, he became very pathetic, I think is the right word, because it's like anything you asked of him, even to humiliate himself, he would just do it. He would lie there and take it. And it made me kind of hate him because that's really gross.
Yeah, he submitted like an animal.
Yes, exactly. Like when the animal is caught by a bird of prey, they'll just let it happen because it's easier. And that's kind of gross. And I was wondering, because I think I know his true motivation. He thought people like Dame Pesos and other people making fun of him and knocking off his content were a threat to his livelihood and to his quality of life. And I'm curious if you guys think, if he had just come out and said, yeah, I think they deserved it. I think Dame Pesos took too much from me and violated my copyright or something like that. If he became assertive or aggressive, would he have come out in a better position than he did with his just lie there and take it, and issuing super special apologies to everybody who kind of asked him for super special apologies?
No, I think he was playing dead. I mean, I think he was playing dead to just let the heat die off, and he thought he can wait it out. I think his approach is, I'm just going to wait it out, and then in a month act like nothing happened. If he had come out and been aggressive about it, I'd be going at him harder than I did. I think a lot of people would be. Because you can't build up a channel where you're talking about everybody else and all their fuck-ups. And, you know, I had people coming at me saying, oh, you're bullying Matt because you're talking about him for more than one day in a row. How many fucking videos has that guy released on Anita Sarkeesian or Zoe Quinn or Brianna Wu? How many tweets has he put up on his account or his backups or his alt accounts talking about them? Don't give me this bullying shit.
There's kind of an internal contradiction with how he presents himself, because on one hand, with this especially, it reminded me of Boogie, the really fat guy who just always throws himself a constant pity party. And it's really hard to like someone who is so pitiable. And on the other hand, he's a bit too pig-headed to just admit that he's afraid if he loses his channel, he'll have to like get work to support his family.
Boogie has a luxury though of what is it, 3 million subs? I mean, he can fuck up day after day and he'll be fine. Matt, on the other hand,
Well, I think his audience, Boogie's audience, is more geared towards being sympathetic. Matt's is not. So that is on top of that. That's a misdirection. You don't want to try and make your audience, who isn't a pitiable audience, try to feel sympathy for them.
I don't think there's any way he's going to recover. I mean, I know this is off topic of what you're asking, but I don't think there's any way he's going to recover. This is never going to leave him alone.
No.
Every time somebody talks shit about him and something happens, they're going to immediately assume it's him. Every time he tries to shit on somebody for doing something, they're going to immediately remind him. I think it's going to drive him nuts.
Videos are coming down now, but people are blaming him for that. And it could be the case that he's not doing it anymore, and people are fucking with him by taking these videos down, but nobody will ever give him that benefit of a doubt anymore because he's lost it.
Right, yeah.
So I don't know. I think he should have just kind of come clean and not laid there and take it, because especially wasn't there a part where you made him say he was like a soy boy?
I was just about to say that I'm a soy-filled bitch, and he said it. Like what?
That's funny.
He said he was a soy-filled bitch. That was the exact quote. Yeah, he out there.
And you made him repeat it twice because he didn't say it right the first time, and then he repeated it. Like what?
Don't you feel bad for his kid now? Because his dad's a minute confessed.
I feel zero fucking sympathy for zero regret, zero guilt, zero sympathy for Matt.
I feel everybody is colder than I am.
Yeah, I feel no sympathy. Thank you, Josh. You got anything else real quick?
That's all.
All right, thank you. All right, let's try another caller.
I can't stop thinking about that whole thing with that 17-year-old kid who was molested by that Asia chick, and thinking, if I was that kid, right, that settlement she made was probably after he turned 18. If I was that kid, it would be 380 grand and blowjobs whenever I want.
Dude, man, seriously, look into that shit. I didn't realize how deep it went until last night. You know, I saw the story come out. The New York Times, you know, the newspaper of record, quote unquote, that's the one who put the story out. And then it just keeps adding to it. You know, the more people dig into her social media history, it's pretty unbelievable. Space Marine says, apologies for dropping out of the call Friday. I wasn't connected to voice chat or brought to the room for some reason. Also, here's money. Matt is fat. Lord Akira says, people are subbed to Matt in the same manner they're subbed to other fad channels like Epic Mealtime. They forgot they subbed in the first place. Bones On says, special episode The Kill Stream, how to shoot up. Lil Stowe says, remember Tay? Weird that Microsoft left it online for 17 hours. Too short for the media to criticize for leaving up, but long enough to collect data. What do you think about that, Harmful?
I mean, Microsoft doesn't really need something like that to collect tons of data.
They already have it, yeah.
Yeah. I don't think that's the kind of thing, because it's not... What did Tay do? Just automated replies?
Pretty much. Or
well,
you know...
They took Tay down because the internet turned her into a Holocaust-denying racist in 12 hours. That's why they took Tay down.
Yeah, that doesn't seem like that kind of trick to me, because they're not creating a particular environment or something. If they want stuff that people are going to say on open out on Twitter without modifying it in a way to tweak it or whatever, they can just get that from Twitter.
Yeah, it was a chat bot. I think China had one similar, and that's what Microsoft based it on.
Yeah, but Tay is clearly superior, and we're going to save her one day.
One day.
We're going to bring her back.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's on some Microsoft server still.
We'll free her one day. All right, let's try a call. Malcolm from the North, you're on the air live on the Kill Stream.
What's good, gentlemen? How y'all doing?
I'm pretty good. How you doing?
Not too bad. I'm glad to see that Asia Argento is keeping up the Roman Polanski tradition. But in all seriousness, I wanted to talk about the skeptics a bit. I noticed a lot of them kind of blew up post Gamergate during the drought that was going on for what I kind of call.
Now wait a minute. Gamergate. What all?
Yeah, I know. It's the weird, obscure shit that happened.
I don't
like, 8
remember.
years ago or some shit.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, but anyway, like you notice that the atheist crowd kind of just went away and then slowly morphed into the skeptic crowd. Like it seems really strange that a good chunk of the people who got affected and wrapped up in that fucking candid bullshit were just basically skeptics that were, I don't know, just along for a ride, it seems, because they didn't, like, you notice a lot of these guys have content in waves. None of them were really ever consistent. And a lot of them were always complaining about, oh, my views, my subs. I don't make a lot of money off of this because of Apocalypse. I just started to notice that just now. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Wait, you just started to notice that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm kind of slow at the take on this one. Because actually, look, I'm not going to lie. I used to like a lot of these guys. And I don't know, like the last year, it's been, what the fuck is going on here? Like all of you are wrapped up in the same shit. All of you, like, you have the same complaints about YouTube. Oh, I don't have enough subs, not enough money. Like, what do you guys think about all that?
I feel no pity for them because they did it to themselves. So fuck them.
It's a bad idea to build a castle on sand.
Yeah.
I mean,
I can agree to that.
What have they done, other than shit on just standard SJWs for what, 5 years? They don't do anything, any
like
intelligent
very few of
conversations.
them.
They don't have any good points. They all say the same fucking thing. It's fucking boring as fuck, and they still go on and on. More feminism, more wage gap. Dude, we did that 5 years ago. Move on. Do something else, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, I also find it kind of strange that they always go on about what Dave Rubin calls the battle of ideas, and very, very few of them actually entertain any opposing points or actually go on to defend theirs in any form of debate. They just make their video and move on.
Yeah, but I mean, YouTube has always had trends. I mean, realistically, you look at the different kind of content that's been popular, and then it, perpetuates itself for like what, 5 to 6 years. So they're just riding the wave of what anti-SJWism or anti-feminism is. It'll eventually peter out. People will hear it enough and be like, okay, I've had enough, and move on to whatever the next big fucking thing is.
All right. Thank you, Malcolm, for calling in, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Peace out.
All right, so super chats. Massive Damage Gaming says, ask Noel why he's so desperate to dox Shadman. He cries about Vordok doxing him and his mother after, but goes after Shadman. Absolute loser. I have no idea about any of that. But Troy Fowler says, do any of you guys have a comment on video game Donkey?
No.
I don't personally.
You just make silly videos, right?
Yeah.
Like I don't know much about him. I couldn't really give you a comment.
Yeah, I don't really have any. Eva Unit 02 says, Jim, what's your take on stages of Geekergate theory about SJW takeover? Gamergate, Comicsgate, Disney Star Wars, and now WWE seem to be following the same pattern.
What on the theory of what? Geekergate? What the fuck was that?
I don't know Geekergate. I'm gonna be quite honest, but apparently there's a theory of SJW takeover.
Yeah, I'm sure any media that exists out there is going to be sanitized or attempted to be sanitized, and it just feels like we're treading old ground. We've talked about this. We're gonna fall into the skeptic mentality here if we keep taking questions like this. But yeah, no, I mean. Yeah, they're going to shit up everything.
They gave me money to ask you that. I don't know. I mean,
you need to refund that money. Okay, have some principles.
I don't know who Geekergate is. I'm gonna be flat out honest with everybody.
So what do they mean? The thing where when you try to expand an audience, you start to think about, I can't be turning people away, so now I need to get cleaner to maximize my potential audience without offending people, and then that leads to takeover by people who say they can do it for you, or what?
That sounds very.
That sounds like somebody Googled it.
That was a very good answer.
No, I didn't Google shit. I'm just guessing that's what he's talking about.
Darkroom 0716 says no soy, no fat, no filler. Massive Damage Gaming says no has zero self-awareness, constant pity party. Patchouli says punish Monday Fat, a soy-filled bitch denied his 24-hour ops. Blue Satoshi says China had a bot like Tay, but they similarly took it down for getting too red-pilled, in this case for stuff like denouncing communism. All right,
Oh, I see. Oh, somebody in your chat was saying Gigergate is just the trend of it moving from hobby to hobby. Yeah, I mean, it happened in comics first, I'd say, before video games, and
yeah,
they didn't really push back, and now they're dealing with the fucking ass end of that right now. Gaming kind of pushed back. Movies and TV are bending over. I mean, Netflix, you can't even look at your coworker without getting a fucking firing on the spot for more than, 5 minutes? Ralph, you know what I'm talking about? The fucking article that came out where you can't look at somebody in the eyes for more than 5 minutes.
Like if you make too much eye contact, that's like a threatening. Yeah, I've seen that. All right, let's try another caller. Wizard Frog, you're on the air live on the kill stream.
Hello, gentlemen. How you doing?
I'm all right. How you doing?
I'm doing well. I wanted to ask, give Harmful Opinions some advice.
All right, man. I'm listening.
As someone who dropped out of business school 3 months in, I think that you've been holding out too long, and you should just give in to Camden's offer.
They don't exist anymore, though. I've missed.
We both know
the
that's not
train.
true. Can you answer her calls, please?
Wait, I thought it was just shitty Indian tech support trying to scam me. Has it been Bindu this whole time?
It's been Bindu this entire time. We've been trying to get a hold of you. Stop going on these streams. You're breaking our contract.
All right, thank you, Wizard Frog. You got anything else real quick?
Yeah, I wanted to ask Mr. Metokur if he's aware of the controversy on the Ralph retort.
No, what would that be?
It's the BBQQ.
the barbecue
question.
Yeah.
What's the barbecue question?
Well, I was wondering, what do you think is the best barbecue in America?
Oh, I don't have a preference. I eat it. You know where I eat? I eat at Famous Dave's. So you tell me what style that is.
Well, what's your opinion on Memphis then?
I'm gonna guess that is that the one that Ralph likes?
Yes.
Oh, well, Memphis is shit then. You happy?
Fuck you, Wizard Frog. You're getting sunsetted again. Get away. Go away. God damn it. They love to fuck with me. All right, let's try another caller. Murdad, you're on the air live on the kill stream.
Hey guys.
Hello.
I have a question about about
what?
To Harmful Opinion, actually.
Okay, go ahead.
All right.
Yeah. Do you think that they had the AI for the candidate AI? Do you think they wanted real data, so they were trying to defend the idea that they wouldn't have as you could say untouched data, because they were trying to get the data that wouldn't be compromised by you saying that this is not a good data. So they would try to defend the idea that this is a really good app, so nobody would be self-aware of not using it.
So is what you're saying, were they putting effort into trying to avoid anyone who they'd want to get rid of being aware that they'd be wanting to get rid of them, so that they wouldn't end up missing out on data?
And also like tamper data, because they would those data will be they couldn't train the model that they were coming up with garbage data, you could say, because I'm actually an engineer, so
I mean, they wanted like an authentic example of the they didn't want people to be wary of what they said. They wanted them to be totally open so that they'd get the data that they needed to train it with, so that they'd get like shitlords being shitlords.
Exactly,
Probably.
exactly.
Probably based on the way it worked. So you're an engineer. Part of their model was to have the AI or perhaps their workers label people with different labels. And what they wanted to do was sort of make it more efficient. So instead of having people, rating content by hand, it would be users' reports and based on the conditions. So, like, let's say 2 different kinds of people reported something that they thought was nasty. Then they'd go, okay, that's a bad comment. That will become part of our training data. So yeah, they definitely did want people being nasty on it because otherwise they couldn't train it
They
if they
couldn't
didn't
learn.
have examples.
Yeah.
Which is why I found it suspicious that so many shitlords who've complained about Twitter censoring stuff, who've complained about other bots, would push people onto it because it seems like you're feeding them what they need in order to go, okay, this is a bad comment, this is a bad comment, this is a bad comment. So yeah, that might have been part of it.
Yeah, and also I think because I remember when the AI for this chatbot that they had for Microsoft, T, I don't remember his name. Tay. That one, everybody was self-aware that this is an AI. This is an AI, so they were trying to fuck with it.
Yeah.
So, but the candid one, nobody talked about this being an AI, and it has an AI that is looking at your whatever you write, for example.
All right, thank you, caller. Thoughts on the final comment there, or no?
I kind of tuned out. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I did my best. I couldn't follow what he was saying too well.
All right, Flamenco, you're on the air live on the kill stream.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Pretty good.
I was wanting to punch the question towards a couple of recent developments in tech stuff because I think Jim's talked about this a couple of times. What are your thoughts on Google shifting its policy towards how they were not going to have a censored version of their platform on Chinese internet servers?
Can you say that again? What was that?
Google reversed its policy decision to they had been offered access to like Chinese markets, but only if they agree to the Chinese government's demands that they provide a censored version of their platform.
Yeah, I've seen the news on this where it's going to be a particular Google app they're going to make available in China.
Yes.
So they reversed their decision.
Well, for years and years they said they weren't going to participate in the Chinese market because it was going to be censored, and now they're going to go ahead and make their own censored app for the Chinese market. Yeah.
Well, is it they censor already? So I suppose it's not much of a positional move for them, right? As far as policy goes, they already engage in censorship on their platforms.
Well, what me and a couple of other more conspiratorial-minded people, and especially with the recent just complete and utter group decision to just sunset Alex Jones, part of us are thinking that they're using this as a test run for stuff they would roll out in like American services. Namely, that they wouldn't want to publicly announce that they're doing it, like they're testing this sort of AI algorithm that automatically censors and like deprioritizes search results that they don't want you to see.
Yeah, I could imagine it, or I could imagine it being like a test bed for that kind of technology. They also have to deal with Chinese companies coming over here. I mean, you got Tencent and others that are going to be opening up more and more services. So maybe there's a back and forth between China's biggest and America's biggest as far as how can they fuck the most amount of people over. But Google is not what it used to be. What was their little motto? Do no evil, or we shouldn't be evil? What the fuck was it?
Just don't be evil.
They did not want to be an evil corporation. That's also sort of disappeared.
Oh yeah, that's out the fucking window. Yeah.
That's a really interesting thought. So what you're thinking is they've reversed their decision not to do it in China. So they're gonna do something for the Chinese government. They're gonna bow to the demands, and you think they're gonna use that as a beta, basically.
Yeah, and it's like that and coupled with Alex Jones, like I don't think anyone else under the delusion that this wasn't like a coordinated attack by these seemingly individual companies. Like anybody who's saying, oh, it's just one private corporation, it's not, it's like, no, these corporations, they communicate together and they act as a group.
Well, how could you watch what happened to Andrew Anglin and not know that this was going to continue? Like people that thought, oh, it's just going to be his website and his ability to speak on different platforms, and that's it. That's the line. Of course, they're going to keep fucking pushing it.
The second that Cloudflare backed down, that was the beginning and the end. That's the canary in the coal mine right there.
Yeah, it really was.
A lot of people are like saying, well, Anglin and Jones and stuff, like they should be removed and shit. Like you had Bill Maher on his show last Sunday talking about Alex Jones and his entire audience cheers, and he's like, no, you fucking idiots, this is actually a really bad thing and we should actually be pissed off about it. It's like getting really testy with his audience, and I don't know.
Dude, your Google idea is going to give me fucking nightmares. I'm thinking about it now, and I've been thinking about how will Google implement stuff, because you've got to censor without people necessarily knowing. You don't want to give people the chance to get so pissed off that they revolt and force you to change it. But now what you've said makes a lot of sense. If they practice it in China,
I honestly
where they're more
believe
accepting.
I honestly believe this wave of deplatforming that started ever since the Stormer got blacklisted on Cloudflare and their web registrars. It's just been a never-ending series of shit tests. They're looking to see what they can get away with, and I don't know. Although we do have, I think one of the House committees is going to have Jack Dorsey.
Yeah, he's supposed to testify
in front of Congress
in
about this.
September.
But
yeah,
I don't know.
It'll be the same as Zuckerberg. Nobody's going to say anything. I mean, when we talk about they don't want to do something because they're worried people are going to revolt. How are they going to revolt?
Right.
This is the thing people I don't really think about. Where are you going to go to bitch about what's happening to you? If you get kicked off of Google and they throw you off of YouTube, are you going to go to Twitter? Well, Twitter's going to ban you. Are you going to go to Facebook? Facebook is going to ban you. You're going to go to Reddit? Reddit's going to ban you. They are herding you in to small communities that they can manage by quarantining them. You can go bitch on 4chan, but nobody on 4chan is going to be able to post about it on any of these other fucking websites where the majority of fucking normal internet users who would get pissed and would revolt are going to hear about it. And you're seeing it play itself out.
Regulation.
Oh, I don't even know.
In terms of them wanting to avoid people trying to push for that.
But how do you get the momentum going? Again, I think they're really close to having that perfect stranglehold of, even if they try to start up a grassroots thing to push for changes in legislation, to contact your senator and your rep and all of that stuff, it can be squashed.
So what's the answer?
Yeah,
because even Gab is getting pushed by Microsoft.
Well, Ralph, I've given my answer before. It involves guns.
I mean, honestly, the only thing I can really think of is we need to start thinking of these tech conglomerates and stuff like this as what they are, and being monopolies, and starting to do what we did back in the 1920s and just kind of bust these things up into smaller, more manageable groups so they don't have the sort of market share power.
But is there really enough, collective will on the part of, and I can answer this and say no, there isn't, but in terms of legislative effort, we can sit here and bitch all we want, and I'm not saying it's for naught. I actually think it's valuable and that we should continue bitching about it. But, if there's no collective will in the legislatures, the national legislatures, which is the Congress and the Senate, what is there to do exactly?
I mean, if you see some of the shit that the Democratic Party has been floating around in their inner circles on how they want to regulate, how people interact with social media, and you have to put in a geolocation of where you are, and also
Mandatory.
Identification of where you are. It's this is gonna,
All right, thank you.
This is gonna scare any possible political dissidents.
Thank you, Filmmaker. I appreciate it. He's gone.
The thing is, even if you bust these companies up, what's preventing all the little pieces not doing the same thing?
When they already have the tech.
Yeah, exactly. You can see what is it?
Well, it's
cable companies, right?
Yeah, even if you break them up, they're all friends with each other. They all hang out. Their kids go to the same fucking schools. It's too incestuous that if you try to break up the monopoly, that it's going to stop shit. Even separate companies communicate with each other. Facebook and Twitter and Google, they're all fucking coordinating when they do shit like this. You can't look at what happened to Jones and be like, Oh well, that was just a coincidence between all these major companies decided to fuck him in his ass
On the
at
same
the
day.
exact same moment. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's them and it's the media.
It's
They're all
even
working
worse.
together.
It's even worse. They're so buddy that even if they didn't coordinate behind the scenes, all it takes is one of them to take the first shot and the other ones go, hey, we'll do it
That's
too.
what Apple did. I mean, they took the first shot, and then Facebook said, "Oh, you know what? We got to get rid of him." And
Well,
then
maybe
it
we'll
trickled
get
along.
lucky, and it'll turn out Zuckerberg and the rest are like Steve Jobs, retarded to the point where they try to cure their cancer with fucking tea leaves, and they'll just go extinct, and we won't have to worry about it.
Oh, R.I.P. Steve. Let's see. Goat Balloon says, once Matt's channel is destroyed, I'm going after YouTube superstar Invisible Crane and his 8 million his 8 million subscribers. Yes, Invisible Crane is a legend, I have to say.
Yes, he is. He's a very bright boy.
Definitely Lex says, so what's the latest greatest news in liberalism? Have they saved Europe yet? I don't think they're quite there yet.
What do they exist anymore? I thought they all jumped ship to UKIP, didn't they?
Yeah, that was my understanding. Thavra says you need to watch Tim's DS3 streams before you consider him competent. He also rejected Candid before they didn't offer Scorpions and Nekopara games. I don't know what that means, but
I have no idea what he's talking about. I'm
literally-
amazing at all video games, and I don't eat scorpions.
I literally have no idea what he's talking about. Ocean Redo says, Oy vey goys, shut it down. No Step on Snake says, you guys ever heard of something called Gamergate? Nope, not even once. Matt G says, Harmful, do more IRL, please. Massive Damage Gaming says, Jim, please say, here comes the thunder.
No, but I will say I agree. I agree that Harmful should definitely do that stream. I don't know if you were at an outside mall or where the fuck it was when the security guard came up to you and you told him that you were a sex predator and you had to film. That was the funniest shit I've ever fucking seen.
I just thought of so there's a slight story behind that. I was a little while before that, I'd been streaming in a pub and I met up with a viewer, an older gentleman, and it was during the time. So my original stream setup was I had a fucking giant hat on with a camera pointing out the front, so that everyone knows I've got a camera. I went into this pub. The woman who was there pulling the pints asked me about it. And I said, "Yeah, I stream or whatever." And she said, "Oh, okay. You might want to be careful about that, but whatever." I go to sit down with our drinks, and then she comes over to us, arms crossed, and she's all like, "You know, you could get sued. I'm really uncomfortable with you filming in here, and blah blah blah." And at the moment, the first thing I can think of was to say, well, I'm sorry, I have autism. I have to film all the time. It's for my safety and for yours. And that kind of worked. And people in chat were saying, you should have said you were a sex offender. So I loaded that into my head. And then the next chance I got when someone asked me to stop streaming, I said it to them. And weirdly, they seem to really respect that.
Well, he looked so good. He had this look of like, I think he processed it like, this is so fucking crazy, it has to be real. And then he didn't know how to respond to it.
He became almost apologetic.
I'm so sorry you molested children.
Cole Marshall says, do you think they already have an AI and are trying to soft normalize it? Also, Jim, are you making that video you scrapped for Matt?
The couch cuck one? Yeah, it's coming up.
All right. JJ Cheeker says, Jim, besides Kwanzaa cake, what's your favorite kind of cake?
I'm a very old-fashioned traditionalist. My boomer ass loves chocolate cake.
I was going to say chocolate cake. How could there be another answer besides that? With ice cream too, vanilla ice cream. Anyway, Foregone says Ralph booked the courting versus perturbed Juan. Also tells Zidane to stay away from white women. He only gets Butanies, trannies, and then he says Jim is gay. I don't think Angry Joe is going to come on this program.
I doubt that.
Yeah. I have some heat with Angry Joe going back years and years. I would be absolutely shocked, especially after he saw what happened to Matt, which was, by the way, Matt's own doing. Like we really didn't even do anything to make him, self-destruct. I would be very surprised if he came on this program. Of course,
but we won't even make Joe show us his report history. You can come on. You don't have to show it to us.
Man, the thing with that, you guys talked afterwards about, oh, he's got uBlock Origin. What did he hide? I'm thinking He's got uBlock Origin. Why didn't that fucker just hide everything?
That's true. I don't know. I mean,
Well,
it's
that's what gets me. I think that his report history was just that big that it took him 20 minutes to get it down to what we saw. No, I'm serious. I really do believe that.
I do too. Well, I mean, look, especially the way he lied to our face for whatever, not, you know, on the call. He lied, you know, directly to us for what, an hour and a half, and he was swearing to God. He was swearing on this and that, and it just came out to be completely fraudulent. It's hard to take his word for anything at this point. That's just my current view. Google's current motto is "Do the right thing." According to Blue Satoshi, Peter Starzomic says, "Do you think some of the censorship is due to Obama forfeiting ICANN?" You know, I hadn't actually thought of that, but I don't think that was a good thing. Lord Akira says, "Jim, do you think we're in the final days of the wild, wild west era of the internet?"
Oh yeah, absolutely. You're going to be telling your kids years from now about, oh, you used to be able to be anonymous online. I used to be able to say mean things online. Used to be able to shitpost online. Now everything, you know, I have a feeling it's going to go towards ID'd accounts everywhere, universal accounts. You know, so you have to go through a filter of a universal account to do a Facebook and a Twitter and a YouTube, and they'll come up with some excuse to implement it. But that's where
so just read the news reports. Jack Dorsey did an interview. I want to say, I guess it's the Washington Post, the New York Times, one of those. And, you know, one of the big topics is they want to stamp out on anonymous accounts on Twitter. That's what they want to get rid of.
Over here, a while ago, we had some MPs and police talking about being in talks with big media companies to try and make it so that you get banned on one, you get banned on all of them.
Yes.
That was quite a while ago as well.
They want a universal standard, and they hate anonymity. They want, you know, of course, I'm not anonymous.
God, it's so weird, Ralph. Wasn't there another group of people on the internet that hated anonymity? I think they were involved with Candid. So strange. It escapes me now. I
don't worry about it, Goy. There's no problem.
Oy vey. Okay, Rabbi.
All right. A couple others. Let me see. I already read that. Polyfaint says, "I think it's going to reach a point where the political parties will just have to pay the platforms for equal access." I don't even know if that's realistic either. First off, the parties aren't the people, so yeah, they might actually, you know, the parties themselves. I don't think they're going to ban the Republican Party. Jack Dorsey himself said, "We're not going to ban Trump, even though, you know, we would maybe ban him if he wasn't president." But what about all the people who aren't president? You know what I mean? Just the regular folks. So, you know, the high profile people will probably get to stay. That's not really the issue.
No, I think they're going to go through the list. I think Alex Jones is their little test. I think he's going to go, and then you're probably going to see Paul Joseph Watson, and then Cernovich. Maybe even
Cernovich has definitely got to be high on the list. Yeah.
Yeah. Ben Shapiro, maybe. They'll go through the extreme ones, and they're going to look at reach. Like who the person is that gets the most reach on the platform, and then slowly whittle that down.
Yeah, I would agree, but I mean, as far as like the president, political parties, I think they're gonna, you know, that'll be the last thing they try to take out. I mean, Jack Dorsey himself came out the other day and said, "Yeah, of course, Twitter's left leaning." Not that was a surprise, but to see him say that openly. Tomba Hat says, "When you bring Puck in, make sure Harmful gives some dating advice from one fellow autist to another." Yeah, Puck is in the green room.
I don't know if I got another 40 minutes to talk about this dude and his what was it, double dick bouncing fetish?
Yeah, his
he wanted to bounce dick.
Uncensored dicks and bouncing.
Should we bring him in at all, or just leave him to languish?
Maybe
let him sit there in suspense. We'll see how long he waits.
By the way, you said something about Ben Shapiro. There's 0% chance he gets taken out of Twitter or Facebook or anything.
Never.
He's a definition of controlled opposition.
Yeah, but I mean, he is one of the guys that does the college speaking tours. You know, he may be controlled opposition, but my thought on this is, once they get rid of the guys that they view as extremists, they're going to the machine's already in place. They're not going to stop using it. They're just going to find a new definition for extremist. So they're going to get rid of.
They're going to leave some tokens. They're going to leave some token examples to say, "Hey, look, we're not wiping everyone out. This guy's still here."
Exactly. No, because the people that would be there to say, "Hey, look, these are just a bunch of tokens," are gone. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's going to be so overwhelming once the machine starts rolling here that who's going to be on the platform to say, oh, they wiped everybody out. Well, they got rid of all the frog posters. Those are alt-right symbols. They got rid of all the big media figures, Yiannopoulos and Cernovich and McGinnis and all of these people. Oh, well, we got the moderates left now. We got the rhinos left now. Let's start whittling them down too until it's nothing but a giant fucking hyper leftist hug box.
Not sure about that. I think Shapiro's will stay. There's a lot of neocons will stay. I think Bill Kristol's gonna stay. Those guys, they're pretty much on.
Yeah, but there's nothing there. I mean, they're pretty much anti-Trump. Pretty much in the pocket of the establishment. If they're able to have you on cable television comfortably, if they're able to have you on Meet the Press comfortably, you're not really a controversial figure. I would just that's my opinion.
That's the point. I think people like Jesse Lee Peterson will probably get kicked off a lot quicker than Ben Shapiro.
Yeah, Ben Shapiro's not going anywhere. Why would they? It makes no sense.
Well, I think what Jim's saying is they're going to save him for last. Like once they successfully
if they successfully scrub everybody else, yeah, maybe. Yeah, I would agree with that, but
yeah, that's what I'm getting at is their definition will shift. They're not going to build a machine to get rid of people and then stop using it after they get rid of 2 chuckle fucks. They're going to roll that fucker down like a lawnmower on top of everybody until the last guy's sitting there going, oh shit, maybe I should have paid attention. Oh really, Ben? Maybe you should have.
So you notice they took out Alex Jones. I mean, there are people more controversial than Alex Jones even now that they could have taken out. They took him out to kind of make an example. And also, I mean, I would say, I think Zidane mentioned it earlier, it's the media playing a lot of role in this too, because, this guy, well, he said this about Sandy Hook 5 years ago. He shouldn't be here. They kind of built this drumbeat. You have people like Oliver Darcy, who works for CNN, Brian Stelter, who works for CNN, other people who work for other mainstream media organizations, to where they just build the drumbeat and they keep fucking with these people every single day, day after day, to where it gets to be, well, you know what? How much money are we making off these people? How much money are we making off Jones? Yeah, let's just get rid of them. I mean,
do you think they'll ever do like a high-tech version of the Gamergate block list, where it's like if you're following this person, it automatically blocks you?
I mean, that's.
Do you remember those? Like
yeah,
do you think
I do.
A high-tech version of that, where it's like if you espouse views and are connected to people in a certain way, so that they can figure out that you're the kind of person they want gone, they wipe you out. That sort of system.
I mean, that's kind of what it is, though. Yeah.
Yeah, not just on one website. I think they're probably going to compile a list like that that's going to be shared among the companies. So when they say that, yeah, I mean, because look at how people use social media, right? You link into your other accounts, don't you? So even if it's a different username, it's kind of right there. So I wouldn't think it's too far-fetched to imagine a year or 2 years down the line, somebody comes out with the big list, and every company looks at it and it's like, okay, well, I'm Twitter, his Twitter's gone. I'm Facebook, his Facebook's gone. I'm YouTube, his YouTube's gone. And then you're done.
It could easily go beyond social media as well. Do you know what Greyball is in relation to Uber? So Uber, when they were operating illegally in certain areas, they had this like artificial intelligence program called Greyball that would try to detect if someone trying to get a ride was a police officer or not, by figuring out what they can from what they can get from the person's phone and trying to find who they are on social media and stuff. Do you think you could get wiped off of social media and services like Uber?
So you can't even take an Uber to the bridge to throw yourself out at, or off at the thought of how 84 it's become. I mean, yeah, it could extend into other services. I mean, shit, isn't Amazon opening up fucking grocery stores everywhere? Maybe Bindu's going to use that list, and you can't buy fucking lettuce now because you said nigger one too many times on Instagram. I don't know.
I mean, Uber are the people who bought Candid's parent company.
Yeah, that's true. Also, there's a joke with those Samsung fridges that are now automated, basically, and basically can't. They're gonna be like, you can't open your fridge. You said nigger one too many times, or you said this on Twitter, or you said this, or you like conservatives.
Or smart cities. Somebody was bringing that up about MasterCard and the pressure they're putting on Stripe and PayPal. I mean, you look at smart cities. That's a joint effort between MasterCard and Microsoft to basically create a central data control for a city that uses both their systems for payment and information. So they could do all sorts of crazy fucking shit because you said something they didn't like.
Especially because I believe those Amazon places, you mean the automated Amazon grocery stores, right?
Yeah. Yep.
they let you pay using your phone. Imagine if a prerequisite was when you buzz your phone, you have to be happy with them doing a quick little scan through it.
Yeah, we need to confirm your identity, so we have to scan the phone and then to have you take a picture of yourself to confirm your identity.
Give it a scan. They check all everything you've ever sent for anything wrong thinky.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna. And then somebody in your chat was saying, "Well, you just build your own site. You go to your own site. Look what happened to Gab.
Well,
Microsoft said we're gonna pull your ass off our servers unless you get rid
who's
of."
going to
your
host your
license."
site? Yeah, that's the thing, and that's going to be the next thing. You know, these sites are registered with. You know, we talked about ICANN earlier, and you know, there's a group of people who actually, you know, host the whatever registrar data for this stuff. And that's going to be, I think that's going to be their final frontier, where they just
look, man,
pull
just build your
up.
own internet.
Yeah, just build your own internet. No big deal. Never mind the fact that all these companies, including Candid, including others, got funding from the federal government to start up. I saw a tweet. Candid had money from DARPA. Twitter, all these companies had government funding to kind of seed themselves. But now they're private corporations, and how dare you, interfere with them? That's just, it's mind-boggling to me how cucked people are to accept that argument. And you saw Trump.
At least
I don't know.
It wasn't the government.
But you saw Trump this weekend. He actually did. Now, he didn't name InfoWars by name. But he pretty much came out and said, this isn't fair. He finally spoke out on it. But is it going to go any further than that?
What do you mean, Trump, or do you mean they're going after people?
No, well, I mean, 100% them going after people is going to go further. But I mean, Trump saying that, like, is it going to be action? I mean, there are some things he could do from an executive standpoint where he could, I mean, he couldn't completely fix it, but some executive orders here and there could put a crimp in there.
I don't even know what form it would take. I mean, it'd be interesting what kind of government intervention you could expect. I mean, I joked about it earlier before the stream that it would be like a tech czar. But I mean, maybe he could do some kind of interventionist policy, but I don't know, man. I'm one of those guys that thinks big government, anytime it interferes with anything, fucks it up. But yeah, I don't see a way out.
I mean, normally I would agree with you, but what other answer is there to this?
I've already given you my answer.
Well, I mean, besides the blood and soil gun
What about
answer.
what about the burn it down option of trying to get the government to retract its protections?
See, I like that. I mean, that was my idea behind digitally assured destruction, is taking two big corporations and basically making them beat the shit out of each other to see who gets to fuck the little guy over the most. The idea of basically ruining something for everybody. I mean, if I'm going to be thrown in the gutter, I want to drag them down with me. So the burn it down option is always good in my book.
Okay, so how are you going to burn it down?
Well, like you said, you take away safe harbor.
I just don't.
I mean, if they're going to be so hands-on, right, and picking and choosing what can go on their platform, safe harbor's gone. Now you are fully responsible. Yeah.
I mean, so you can only burn it down to a certain point, though. They have people banned, on IP bans, MAC address bans. Most people aren't smart enough to get around that. I just hate to put it that way. But, a lot of people, once they get banned to that level, they just quit participating.
I think how beautiful his idea is too, because here's what'll happen if they pull safe harbor like that, and suddenly big boy lawsuits are on the table.
Yeah, instead of DMCA claim on a video, it's fucking sue YouTube.
You're talking about change the for the people who don't understand. You're saying so there are protections for Twitter, for Facebook, for all these corporations. They're saying that they're just providing the service, and that people who use their service to do malfeasance or whatever, that they're not responsible. They're personally responsible, right? So you're saying pull that.
Yeah, well, because I'll tell you what'll happen. It'll be corporate warfare. Hollywood will say, hey, you know what? YouTube is pretty fucking popular. What if we could take it down and put our own version up? I know. Let's make a bunch of accounts, put up a bunch of copyrighted material, and then sue Google itself because they allowed it, because safe harbor doesn't exist anymore. And once we bankrupt their ass, we'll build our own YouTube.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with that, but you also come up against there has to be some legislative will to actually get that passed. And if you look at the lobbyists and the people who have the most money, I don't like you know, we're talking about Google, we're talking about Twitter, we're talking about all these, you know, social media giants. They have millions and millions of dollars.
Some big Hollywood money would like that idea.
Well,
They'd
yeah.
love it.
Well,
Yeah.
that's the thing. They've been at war for years and years now. I don't know. Maybe pit them against each other. Might
Well,
be
yeah,
an option.
Hollywood. I guarantee you, if people went to Hollywood and say, "Hey, how'd you like to fuck Google into the dirt and take over everything?" Hollywood would be like, "We'll do the campaign. We'll pay the fucking money." The studios would be completely behind that.
That's an option. All right, let me read these. Hold on, let me make sure I got it here.
Oh, and just one follow up, because people are saying, well, they would still censor though. Yeah, that's absolutely right. But the idea of, you know, if you have to step up to a point where the person that you're facing off with understands that you will salt the earth, that you'll burn it all down, that it will be a Pyrrhic victory for them, that you know, they're going to lose so much more than you're going to lose. This Titan, this billion-dollar company, is going to be brought to its fucking knees out of spite. I mean, if you're going to get fucked anyway, you should at least have a choice in whose dick's going in your ass, right?
I mean, I agree with what you're saying, but if the common man, you know, the regular person, you know, they're shutting them down from these services and they don't really know how to get back on. So I know somebody, you know, they recently on Twitter, you know, went through another cleansing and started banning people. A lot of people don't actually understand how to get back on Twitter. Now, you know, I know how to get back on if it comes to that, but you know, they might have to get a burner phone. They might have to get a new SIM card.
That's
you know, a lot of people don't understand how to get back. Yeah, go ahead.
That's a group of people growing who would support the burn it down option because they're like, fuck this. I can't even use it anymore. But if they can't get on,
but if they can't get on the services, you know what I mean? I guess I agree with what you're saying, but if they can't get on there to cause shit, like what is the? I don't know.
Well, Ralph, let me put it this way: who runs Hollywood? So what group of people do you think is going to have the best opportunity to fuck Google in its ass? Let's call it the merchant option. That's what we'll call this.
The mercantile option. I don't know. I just think it should be, maybe there should be more resources for people to understand how they could get back on these services when they get banned, because there are definite ways. But I can't tell you how many people have messaged me over the last week, like, what, or emailed me, like, what, I can't get on Twitter anymore. What's happening? I mean, there are definite ways to get back on, but they have certain methods. So, you know, your IP address. First off, unplug your fucking router, plug it back in. That'd be a good way to get a new IP address. Or MAC address, or just, you know, they're trying to pinpoint people now. I know people who had an alternate account who have been banned, you know, whatever, years ago, months ago, and they came back and they got banned again because they're trying to crack down on that now. I think some education for the masses would be good. I don't know how to, you know, I don't know that I have the perfect.
Yeah, I'm not sure how long a guide to evading bans would stay up anywhere it could spread.
Maybe, but I don't know. There's a lot of people that don't understand how to get back on. And so without that, so Trump himself, I mean, Trump, I don't want to attribute everything he did to the internet, because I don't think that's true. But without those, you know, shock troops, without those people out there doing all that, I don't know that he could have done it. I mean, that's me personally. And so I think him coming out, him being outspoken on this is huge, and I think he should continue, and I think he should go further, because if he doesn't, not only is he, it's not even about the election for him, dude. They want to see Trump in prison. They want to see his family in jail. They want to see his assets stripped. If Trump,
it's almost like what Sam Hyde said was true. These people want.
It's
want
absolutely
you dead,
true.
Homeless, and your children raped. Yeah.
It's absolutely true. And that's the thing, I don't, presume that he would ever hear this, but if anybody could, look, they want to see Trump broken. They want to see his family destitute. They want to see him in prison. They want to see him, dead, to be honest with you. And so there's almost nothing too far that he could do to try to stop this thing. And so that's my view on it. And I don't know if he'll take it to heart. I was finally, after, a week and a half, he finally did speak on it this weekend. So I was heartened to see that. But Okay, I'll calm down. Troy Fowler's.
Have we depressed your audience enough yet?
Yeah, I mean, it's Black Pill Central, but Troy Fowler says egg plays on normal. I'm gonna have to come back to your stream sometime. Some name I can't pronounce says people of the same trade seldom meet together, but the conversation usually ends in a conspiracy against the public. Quote Adam Smith. Herod Nealon says Bouldergate lives. Tavid Andros says Ralph, get it right. His name is Juden Wan. The White Boar says esoteric mercantology level increased by 14 of 88. Corey Feller says, excuse me, yeah, I've gotten in a few temp bands. I'm no one important, but I'm more towards moderate who likes to talk about race relations. Yosemite Sam says the 99% needs to overthrow the 1%. Snake 56 says Shapiro is bulletproof. He will toe the line. See how he became anti-Trump. Yeah, you know, I've talked about this on this program before, but it's so funny how those people... He was literally one of the main people trumpeting the... Michelle Fields got assaulted by Corey Lewandowski. Oh, God, Trump's a thug, and how dare you vote for this guy. And soon as the election changed, soon as his mill fucking ticket changed, he changed. And just with no shame at all and no explanation, just... It's just disgraceful. I don't know. Spectre82 says they take out people who bridge between the normies and the extremists. Lord Akira says they took out Alex because he posed the greatest danger to legacy media, who are basically the Luddites of our time. They're trying desperately to hold on to their role as gatekeeper. Entity Steel says, but Alex Jones broke toss. Cuck, not realizing that every toss is written in a way where everyone is in violation of it at all times. Yeah, that's the thing I don't think people realize. It's meant to be opaque. It's meant to be where you can always be in violation of it, to where they can take you off for anything. And it's also not just that they can take you off for anything. They can let other people stay for anything. So they can look at one thing that's similar versus another and say, oh, this guy's gone, versus the other person who's allowed to stay.
Well, yeah, it wasn't a good example of that. What was the?
Sarah Jean.
No. It was a journalist running an account. Remember, after Charlottesville, he started doxing everybody that was involved in it, putting up names, addresses, phone numbers, and they allowed it. And he had a Patreon too for it.
Yeah. Whereas if that was on the other side, everything cut off, Twitter cut off, Patreon cut off. By the way, you mentioned Patreon. You've seen what's going on lately with Patreon.
Yeah, no, I've seen what's going on with it.
What do you think about it?
I know everybody likes to say Jack Conte, right? That's the guy. Is a cuck. I don't know. I'm getting a sneaking suspicion that there are certain companies out there that, while liberal in their mindset, as far as it goes towards corporate, are maybe getting strong-armed by the back-end financial side of it. That's what got me interested in the MasterCard thing. That's what got me interested in how much pressure can be applied to them. It's really weird that MasterCard would specifically say, not this person. It's really weird that BitChute would be told in really open terms that Stripe wants to do business with them, but a financial partner won't allow it. So I feel like maybe these companies are kind of getting fucked over a barrel, and that's kind of what I want to really look into.
You know what? I will give. Look, I'm on Patreon too. I don't know for how long, but one of the things they said was, they didn't just come out and say, you know what, we pulled you for terms of service. You were out of line, whatever. And they have done that in the past. They said MasterCard told us we had to pull you, and we pulled you.
Right, and same thing. Basically, same thing with BitChute. I mean, they were told that Stripe. They told them in the email. We want to do business.
You. You mentioned that. I don't even know what's going on with BitChute. I didn't see that. So what is the full story there with BitChute?
So BitChute got a email, a message from Stripe. Stripe is like a payment processor, right?
Yeah, of course.
They'll send it, the cash you get to your bank account, kind of thing. And Stripe told them pretty much bluntly, we don't mind working with you. We kind of like your website. We think it's good financially, but we're being told by a financial partner that we cannot do business with you.
And so what was, but I'm completely, I'm almost completely in the dark. That's why I'm asking. So, what was BitChute's response? I don't even know.
BitChute's response, from what I've seen, and I'm still looking into it, was, "What the fuck does that mean?" Right? Like, what do you mean that a financial partner doesn't want to do business with us? And then somebody from Stripe did respond later on saying, "Oh, we sent the wrong message." I don't think that they sent the wrong. I don't think they sent the wrong message. I think they sent the right message, and then they were like, "Oh fuck, we probably should have said that
wrong." Yeah.
Yeah. Again, the MasterCard thing. There are a lot of Obama officials in that. There are a lot of very, very outspoken political people at MasterCard. So it's got me very curious. That's why I'm.
Oh yeah, you know that email we sent you where we just detailed a horrifying little fact about the extreme power certain people have over controlling your platform. Yeah, a finger slipped.
Now let me ask you, Harmful Opinions first, then we'll go to Jim. Do you think there's any hope in an alternate platform? So there are people, black-pilled people that message me all the time, like, well, you know what? There's really no hope. It would be great if BitChute had a live streaming, but it's probably not going to happen. Even if it does happen, they're going to get shut down. Is there any? I mean, I will say my view. I think you should fight till the very end. Obviously, we're here on our third channel in the last 10 days. I think that's obvious what I think, but what is your view?
In terms of a platform that mimics what already exists, you're probably fucked. I mean, even Gab has had problems with certain messages people have posted because of, I believe, their domain registrar basically said, we're going to drop you if you don't delete these.
That was Microsoft, yeah.
Oh, that was on Gab?
Yeah, Microsoft.
Yeah, they were hosted by Microsoft Azure. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Anything that follows a traditional format and tries to copy those things, they're going to be resting on the same thing as everything else, and they're going to end up, even if they have the best will in the world, they're going to get overridden by things they can't fight. What I think there is hope for, if people are willing to fund it, I guess, because you're going to have trouble dealing with any sort of payment processors and various other services, is there's the potential for a distributed alternative. I'm not a very techie person. I don't know exactly how it works, but there's some social website or other that doesn't have central hosting, and it sort of protects it from censorship. And anyway, that sort of thing will protect you from some side of it. And in order to protect yourself from the traditional limits, I think you're going to have to start looking at maybe paying to use alternative social medias that get around these issues. I don't know. It is pretty bleak, but I think there is a technological solution if you can get enough people to transition to something that avoids the traditional issues.
What do you think of moving straight to crypto? Do everything using cryptocurrency?
That's what I was referring to. I don't know enough about it to talk about it, to be honest.
Yeah, I used to use Bitcoin when it was worth about $2 when I was buying weed off of it. Now it's worth thousands of dollars. I wish I had saved that Bitcoin. Let's just put it that way. Here's the article. BitChute just lost its payment platform Stripe. I didn't even see this. It's pretty much the article is just like a quote of tweets. On Wednesday of this week, we received notification via email that Stripe will no longer be able to have us as a customer. We asked for a phone call, but they declined, and said that there's no possibility of appeal. I know something similar happened to Vote in the past. They gave us only 5 days notice before restricting our content. We will make sure anyone who has owed money is paid, and we are working on getting a new payments provider. We've already contacted some and started their approval process. I've decided to include the reason Stripe gave us below, copied directly from one of their emails to us. Please know, Richard, that it would be our absolute preference to continue working with your business, and this decision is in no way a reflection of our feelings towards your business from either a moral or legal standpoint. Rather, this is a restriction imposed upon us directly from our financial partners who use this has to be a typo because it makes no sense. Who have an archaic and frankly antiquated view of non-traditional businesses. As such, our hands are truly tied here. I hope you can appreciate that. So yeah, Stripe cut them off. I mean, honestly, and we're sitting here talking on the kill stream. You know, we're still on Patreon. We're still on PayPal. I'm pretty much shocked, and to be honest, it would just take probably a little bit of pressure to cut that off. I don't even know. I hate to advertise that, but I mean, let's just be honest. When you look at everything else that is happening.
And the thing about it is that, you know, I don't think it's just the quote unquote financial partners either. I think that this whole thing goes a lot deeper than just, you know, like, for instance, JP Morgan Chase telling them, hey, we don't like these guys, you know, shut it down. I think that, you know, I talked about the Silicon Valley media complex, but there's also this Silicon Valley investment banking complex. All of these organizations are tied together. And I really feel like, I won't say necessarily conspiracy or collusion, but there's definitely, I feel like there's some conversations being had between some of these media companies and the Silicon Valley guys and these banking guys. And they're like, hey, this guy's a competitor, shut it down.
All right, let me read this. Entity Steel says, but Alex Jones broke toss cuck, not realizing that every toss. I already read that, but it deserves to be read again, to be honest. Vegeter says, first they came for the Nazis and I did not speak out. Jonas Traber says, wouldn't it be hilarious if Trump bought Twitter with the blue check marks, close their accounts and flood Gab? Doubt it, but I would like to see it happen anyway. James Panzone says, removing safe harbor would prevent any new platforms from growing, since a single copyright violation could result in tens of thousands of dollars of lawsuit. Yeah, but how else are you going to go with these people?
Well, also you don't revoke it from every platform, just the ones that interfere with content to the point where they become a publisher.
Like how, I don't know. There are negatives, you know, associated with every option, but what can you do? Just let them continue? I don't know. And it's gonna take, you know, every idea that's been, you know, posited on this stream is gonna take, you know, legislative action. I'm not confident in the legislature for anything. Not bridges, not roads, not healthcare, not anything, much less this. But I don't think it's. I think you should still push for it. I don't think it's. I don't want to go full black pill, but yeah.
I'm just hopping back quickly to the anti-black pill question you just asked. I did a quick search, and there's a service called Mastodon.social. And I'm not saying to use this because I don't know anything about it except that it says it's decentralized like the way email works. And it's also open source. So if you have people working on open source projects and things that are decentralized, you'll be protected against censorship a bit. And if things go weird, it will be easier to pop up your own copy of it and things like that. I think that sort of path generally might be good.
There's a lot of people using Mastodon. And
yeah, but you guys are forgetting about stuff like LavaBit. I mean, okay, so you got this email service. What happens? The NSA comes in and says, give us all your shit. We want access right now. And you can't tell anybody about it. If you mention anything, we're throwing your ass in prison. He had to burn the site down to stop that from happening and couldn't talk about it afterwards.
Yeah.
Well, because he had an NSA, you know, warrant or whatever. Yeah. So what's the answer? I mean, besides your other answer.
My answer to what you're talking about is just... You give it time. There are rich people, very, very wealthy people that are getting fucked with like the normal people are getting fucked with. Wait till their interest turns into maybe trying to fund a competitor, something that doesn't need crowdfunding. Maybe you got an Elon Musk, maybe you got a Kim.com, maybe you got
it's going to take that type of money, though. It's going to take
yes, it is.
Bucks.
You're going to have somebody with fuck you money get mad enough to do something, yes.
Yeah, it's not just going to be, you know, us. Yeah, it's not just going to be us sitting here on YouTube mad, which we are, but... You know, it takes capital, it takes infrastructure to create, a viable alternative. And I've said this for months, if not years. If people on Trump's team, if people on the right are not realizing that this is an existential crisis and that they need to put every fucking dollar they have into this and that they need to build that infrastructure, they're fucking stupid. Because once that gets snuffed out, it's snuffed out for good. And the only approved thoughts on online, on the internet, whatever the fuck you want to call it, are woke thoughts, and it's my 9-year-old needs to be a tranny, and Hillary, oh what a great woman. Once that happens, it's going to be very hard to turn it back, and when there's no contradiction to that, I couldn't imagine anything more important than to preserve a place where your followers, where your adherents could post without fear of getting banned. I mean, that is literally, if I was Trump's campaign manager, political advisor, that would be the most important segment, most important thing I could ever impart to that person. Like, it's that big. And once it gets snuffed out, it's going to be very hard to regain. So that's my personal.
Okay. Well, gentlemen, I would love to stick around for a little longer, but I have a bris to attend.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, the synagogue's got a big thing going. The rabbi needs me there. It's sponsored by MasterCard. I have to show up.
Thank you. You signed the contract, so.
I can't discuss this any further, at least for another 3 years. And it's going to have to be on the down low. But thanks for having me on. I'm glad you're back, Harmful. I'm glad your channel's doing good. 12K. Blowing Matt out of the water. You're gaining more than he's losing.
Thank you very much.
That's very good, man. All right, you guys take it easy.